It is everybody's favorite time of year. We are about to head into 2024, and we've had the same balance patch for a little while. So I thought that it might be a good time to do an updated tier list, okay? Because we haven't done one in a little while. So I am going to make a tier list. It's not necessarily based on solo shuffle. It's going to be a tier list based on threes and solo shuffle, kind of. What specs that I think are the best. So we've got S+, S, A, B, C, D, and then tanks. So this is going to be my own personal opinion for how these specs work. My last tier list, I had a little bit of speculation. I feel very confident in my picks right now, okay? So this is not like, this isn't any guess. I've played the patch a lot. Played threes a lot. I've watched a lot of streams of the best players. Like, I have a pretty good idea of what's going down, I think. So here we go. We'll start with the tank spec. So every single tank spec we're just going to put down here in tank. Don't really care. Some of them are okay, but yeah, we're not going to really consider the tanks right now. I'm sorry if you guys are big tank fans. Probably play Vengeance Demon Hunter. That's going to be your best bet. But other than that, forget the tanks. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is start off with melee DPS, okay? So I'm going to start off with melee DPS, and I'm going to allow my Twitch chat to chime in a little bit. I'm doing this live on stream right now, so if you guys want to chime in, you're more than welcome. If you guys hard disagree with something, I might be willing to change my mind, but let's get it underway. Frosty K, C tier, okay? We're not messing around. Frosty K, in certain situations, is okay. It has some comps. Overall, not well-rounded. C tier. Okay? Unholy DK, S tier. One of the best melee in the game right now. Is in 99% of solo shuffle lobbies. Does very well. Super well-rounded. S tier. Okay? Havoc Demon Hunter, S tier. Okay? Havoc Demon Hunter, as well as Unholy DK, both S tier, in my opinion. Havoc Demon Hunters are all over the place. At every rating, they're absolutely wild. We're putting him at S. Okay? Pharaoh Druid. Pharaoh Druid, another niche specialization. I'm going to put it at B. Like a very, very good Pharaoh Druid can do pretty well. It has some comms, but overall, not the best spec right now. I'm putting it at B tier. All right, Survival Hunter, same thing. Putting it at B tier. It's decent. Nothing crazy. All right. I think for a melee DPS / range DPS, it's mid. You have to be very good to pull it off. It's not often you see Survival Hunters do well. Barely in any games that I see, so that's where it's going. Arms Warrior, I think, is a solid A tier. I think you could argue that I put it at like A+. It's good. Arms Warrior is good. Yeah, I'm going to put it at A. Okay? There are people that think that Arms is better than Unholy. I could see the argument for it, to be honest. Like, okay, I'll put it to S tier. Arms Warrior, we'll put it S tier. I think that's fair, actually. If we're going to put... There's a lot of S tier melee right now. I feel like melee in general are having a very good patch. So we'll look at Windwalker Monk. Windwalker Monk, I've been convinced that it is S tier also. I think that all of these melee are freaking insane. So we're going to put Unholy Decay, Havoc Demon Hunter, Arms Warrior, and Windwalker Monk all at S tier. Okay. Let's continue. Melee are insane. Ret Paladin, we're going to put it S+. Obviously, when melee are good, Rets are king of the melee, so it has to be absolutely... I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. All right. We're going to put Ret down to A. I'm going to put Ret at A tier. Okay? That's where we're putting it right now. I think you could make an argument that it's B, but I do think... I'll put it at B. Frick it. I'll put Ret at B tier. Thinking about Ret versus Feral versus Survival, I think it's in a similar boat to those, so we're going to put Ret down at B tier. I think that's fair. Enhancement Shaman. As annoying as a good Enhancement Shaman is, I think it has similar problems. It just does not have very good comps. I think it is overall better than Frosty K, so I do think a really good Enhancement Shaman in Shuffle is strong, but I just don't think it's the best spec right now, so I'm going to put it at C tier. Okay? Now this is interesting. Where does this leave A tier melee? Like what melee are A tier? If all of these melee are S tier, who is A tier? Maybe Outlaw Rogue is S tier, in my opinion. Maybe Asa Rogue is A tier. And Subtlety Rogue, as always, is S+. Maybe you could say Fury Warrior is A tier. I don't know if any of the data really supports that. Let's do a quick little look-see on Drustvar, okay? So I'm just going to try to... Let's see Solo Shuffle stats, okay? So if we look at Solo Shuffle stats, Fury Warrior is down there with Enhancement Shaman and Frost DKs at 2100 plus. As you get higher rated, it gets worse. I would say, looking at this as well, Rep Paladin is better than... Yeah, I think Rep Paladin is better than B. Sorry, guys. We're going to put Rep Paladin up to A. I've promoted it, and Fury Warrior is going to go down here in C tier with the Enhancement Shaman, Frost DKs. I think that this is fair. I think that this is fair. I think right now there's a lot of really good melee. In terms of melee, this is how I'd rank it. Subtlety Rogue overall the best, with the caveat, because all the Rogue players get pissed, only the top 1% players are making sub S+ tier, but I think it's very good. I'm going to leave it there for now. S tier, we got Unholy Decay, Havoc, Demon Hunter, Arms Warrior, Windwalker, Monk, Outlaw Rogue. A tier, we got Ret. I would actually put Outlaw. I think Outlaw is extremely good. I don't know. I'm putting Outlaw a little bit higher. I'm going to move it closer to the front of S tier. And I feel like if there was a tournament right now, the melee you would see the most often is probably Sub Rogue, Outlaw Rogue, and Windwalker Monk. I'm going to put Windwalker Monk a little bit ahead too. Like, I think if there was a tournament right now, you'd see the top 3 melee being played the most. Okay, so this is where I feel like melee has kind of been placed. Let's go ahead and take a look at our casters. Okay, so Boomkin, I think overall, I actually don't see Boomkins that often, but they are incredibly good. So I will put Boomkin confidently at S tier. Very confidently. Devastation Evoker in my last tier list, I think I had it down at like C or B, but I'm actually going to move it up to A. I think with the amount of buffs that Devastation Evoker has gotten, I think that it's actually not bad. In Shuffle, it's really good. Yeah, I'm actually gonna put Devastation Evoker up to A tier. I know that you might think I'm cooked, but I think it's good. Ellie Shaman, S tier. I think Ellie Shaman, especially if you're European or a robot, is really good right now. So we're gonna put it up there. Demonology Warlock, I think, is also S tier. I think that Destro Warlock is also S tier. It's a lot of S tiers, I'm not gonna lie. I think there's a lot of really good specs right now. And before anyone says, what about mages? Okay. I'm getting to it. All right, relax. Everybody relax. But yeah, Ellie's up there. Boomkin's up there. Demo's up there. Now for the mage specs right now, mages are kind of struggling. So I'm going to put Arcane down at C with the Frost DKs. Fire Mage is also kind of struggling. So we're going to put it down to D. And Frost Mage, yeah, it might as well be a tank spec. Nah. I'm just kidding, guys. Come on, relax. All right, we'll get to Mage in a second. Okay, so S tier. We'll do BM Hunter. BM Hunter, I think I'm going to move it up to S tier. Marks Hunter is only S tier at killing Clothies. But other than that, I think it's... Where would you put it? I feel like I'm leaning towards B. For Marks Hunter, I think I'm going to put it at B tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it at B. I feel good about that. Okay, yeah, we'll put it at B. I feel confident with that decision. Put that there. Okay, so Frost Mage. Frost Mage, my opinion on this specialization is it's good in Shuffle. It's good. Frost Mage is good in Shuffle. And with a Demonology Warlock, it's very good. With a Demonology Warlock, Frost is very good. And in Shuffle, it's good. So I'm actually going to put Frost at A. I'll put it up there. I think it's probably better overall than Devastation Evoker. So I'll put it there. I would say that it's A. For the next mage spec, we have Fire. I am going to put Fire at B. I think Fire right now doesn't really have any strengths overall. I'm going to be honest. I feel like when you compare Fire to Frost and Arcane, there's very little that Fire offers. in comparison. I've been playing a lot of the mage specs. I think fire is just, there's just no doubt that it's the worst. And with that being said, I also happen to think that arcane is the best. So I think arcane is S tier spec. I think it belongs up there with Demo, with Destro, with BM, Ellie, Boomkin. I think arcane is very good right now. Okay. Very, very good. Everything needs downshifting. Really? So you think I should just get rid of the S tier and just put everything down one? I don't know if I agree with that. Reddit A tier? Yeah, it's good. You have way too many S tier? Grade inflation? Do you think it's grade inflation? But I actually think that these specs are all S tier. So some people are saying that, like, yeah, if everything is in S tier, that is your low A or high B by definition. You know what I think would make people happier? What if I did this? How about this? Instead of this being called S tier, we're going to rename this A+. And instead of this being called S+, we're going to name this S. And just by changing this, people are going to... It's the exact same thing, but people are going to be happy all of a sudden. Okay? Literally no difference, but yeah. Well, you have D tier, but you didn't use it? Okay, so because we don't have D tier, I'm going to do this too. Watch this. We're going to delete this row and then rename tank. Just so people are happy. There's literally no difference, but from a psychological standpoint, it makes you feel better. There. Okay? You guys are all happy now. Everyone's feeling good. Boomy's S tier. Rudar. Rudar, you believe... Oh, let me just ask this. Rudar, you think that Boomkin is better and more broken than Demo, Ellie, Destro, Arcane Mage? That is your stance? That is your position? Because if that is your position, Boomy's so broken. It absolutely is. Okay. It's so strong right now. It's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm promoting Boomkin. Based off the information that I have received from some legendary sources, we are going to move Boomkin up to S tier. It is the S tier caster. I believe that. Is there anything? Okay. Let me finish this. Okay, so Shadow Priest, I have a hard time putting... So I will say this. I think Shadow Priest is frustrating to play, but I think it's probably in a very similar situation to like Frost Mage and Devastation Evoker. I'm going to put it at A tier. Maybe B tier? I have a hard time with this one because I feel like Wiz K would be A tier. Like the best Shadow Priests are good still. I don't know what to do. The thing is, like, do I really think Shadow Priest is worse than... you know what? I'll put Shadow Priest at B for now. I'm not happy about that, but I'll do it. Affliction Warlock, I'm also going to put at B tier. I just don't. I don't know. I think it's not that great. I'm putting it down there. Okay, Shadow is B in Shuffle and it's A in Tourney play. Yeah, maybe. Also, bro, I love you, but there's no way that Frost Mage is below Arms and Arcane. There's no way that Frost Mage is below Arms and Arcane. I definitely disagree with you. I think Arcane is better than Frost. And I think most top mages, if not all of them, would agree with that. If there's any top mages in my stream that disagree that Frost is as good as Arcane, I would love to hear it. I think if I asked Raikou, Aegis, Maro, anyone, they would say that Arcane is better than Frost overall. The only time Frost is only good in Shuffle and with a Demo lock. And in those situations, it's good. That's the only reason I have it at A. Resto Druid. I think Resto Druid is the S tier healer right now. Any disagreements? I think Resto Druid is the S tier healer. I think there's just no doubt about it. There's just no freaking doubt about it. I'm going to put Resto Shaman at A+. I think Resto Shaman is an A+ healer right now. I think it's very good. I think Resto Shaman is really, really strong. I don't know about Prez Evokers. My gut instinct is telling me that Prez Evokers in Shuffle are like a B, but in rated 3s, they're like an A. I would say it's an A. Maybe B. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'll put it at B tier for... I'm going to go with A. All right, so in terms of healers, I think Preservation Evoker is at A. I don't really know who is there any other healer that's let's take a look at something really quick. I want to look. I want to see a few things, okay? So let me look at leaderboard stats, Dragonflight ladder stats, top 500, last 7 days. So we're seeing Paladins, Disc, Resto Shaman, Prez being played quite a bit. And then obviously an unbelievable amount of, yeah. And then in Europe, it's kind of similar where these healers are kind of just, yeah. Okay. I'm going to put based on what I'm seeing, I'm putting Holy Paladin at A+ as well. And I'm going to put Disc at A+. And according to Born Good, he says all the healers are A except Resto Druid and S+. I'm going to put Resto Shaman here at A+, Holy Paladin here at A+, Disc here at A+, Prez Evoker down here. And then just based off what I'll put Mistweaver and Holy Priest together. I think those are pretty, but I'm not comfortable. I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm actually going to downgrade everybody. So I'm going to put Prez Evoker at B, Mistweaver at B, Holy Priest at B, and I'm going to put Resto Shaman at A, Holy Paladin at A, and Disc at A. Actually, I'm going to put Resto Shaman 1 higher. This is what I'm going to do. Mistweaver's S tier? Is it? Where's the evidence? This is fried? Top 100. Let's see. Okay, so this is the top 100, which doesn't mean everything, but let's look at US. Okay. You're telling me that Mistweaver's S tier. I mean, where are we seeing the data for that? Does anybody have any kind of data to back that up? Because I feel like I'm pretty confident with where I have everybody right now. Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. Let's see solo shuffle stats. Mistweaver's actually, this is solo shuffle 2400 plus. Yeah, I guess Mistweaver's maybe better than, maybe we're right about the Mistweaver. It's a little bit better. Mistweaver's actually doing pretty well. Okay, better than I thought. And that means I'm going to promote Mistweaver. I still don't think it's better than the other, like, I still don't think it's better than this. This is what I'm putting. I'm going to put Holy Paladin. This is the healer, the final healer. I'm confident in it. We're locking it in. Resto Druid is S tier. Resto Shaman is A+. A is Paladin, Priest, Discipline Priest, and Mistweaver Monk. And then for B tier, we got Holy Priest and Prez Evoker. That's it. This is the ultimate tier list. It is locked and loaded, ready to go. There's a few things I'm not 100% sure on. Shadow Priest, I think, could go up a little bit. But other than that, I feel very confident that this is an accurate tier list. Is there anyone that disagrees with me? Is there anyone that disagrees with me? Like, what are the big ones? I'll show this on stream. Just so we can be very clear. Okay? Let's see what you guys have to say. Augmentation Evoker, I'd put it probably B tier. Maybe C. Demon Hunter's S. I feel good with it being, yeah, I think it's good where it is. Prez is maybe A. Okay. Affliction B tier. Holy Priest should be A or A+. Disc is maybe A+. Well, you say the list is data, so doesn't the data tell us that Demon Hunter is S? The data does say that Demon Hunter is S. Yeah, Demon Hunter is definitely good. Well, I just think like I always think of like if there was a tournament right now, would a Demon Hunter win? And I don't think it would. And I know tournament play isn't everything, but I really don't think a Demon Hunter would win. I'm like, I think a rogue will just win. I think, and like if we had a tournament where the best players are playing right now, I am pretty sure we would see a rogue win. I'm 99% sure we'd see a lot of rogues and a rogue would ultimately win. Yeah, so like, look at this. Yeah, see? Like at the very top of the ladder, we're not seeing as many Demon Hunters. I guess we are in Europe. Europeans are crazy. Speaking from an audience perspective, might be good to make the distinction between high level play and average level play. Maybe. I think this is good though. Like I think that this is like a pretty all-encompassing tier list. I really do. And maybe one day I'll make a tier list for, if it is something you guys are interested in, we can make a tier list for what is the easiest for beginners, and then like a high level tier list, you know. But for now, yep, this is it. And if you guys disagree, feel free to let me know.